Here's Deputy Sean Kyne. You have 5 minutes, Deputy.
Thank you, Chairman. As we know, a little over a month, our country will take the momentous step of regaining our economic sovereignty and exiting the bailout arrangements. Is because of the contribution made of every citizen in the country over the last number of years in the attempts to restore, successful attempts to restore our nation's finances. However, we must not lose sight of the fact that the state continues to exceed our state income in terms of expenditure, and regaining our economic sovereignty is not an excuse to go back to the old ways of irresponsible and reckless spending. The opposition has attacked the budget for being unfair, for not targeting those most able to contribute. However, the provisions contained in this finance bill expose the hollowness of this accusation. The increases in dirt and exit taxes and payouts from investment funds and life assurance policies, the earlier changes to capital gains tax are among the measures which ensure that those most able to contribute will do so. There are a number of very positive provisions in this bill. For example, the provisions to consolidate the tax implications of the Job Plus scheme is very welcome. Jobs Plus is an enormously important programme which simplifies how government and business can work together to tackle long-term unemployment. Another major positive is the home renovation incentive, which has been mentioned. It's providing assistance to the sector under significant pressure as a result of the downturn. Regarding sections 13 and 21, I wholeheartedly appreciate the amendment here to ensure that tax relief for expenditure on research and development is only available once a person or organisation is fully tax compliant. However, I think we should examine the introduction of a more targeted relief for employees who register a patent. We are all aware of how vital innovation is for Irish companies and companies based here. New and better processes, components, products or services have a direct positive impact on expansion and on job creation. I believe we should reward employees for being innovative and by exempting from income tax the first €2,000, for example, of any reward payment provided by an employee by that company, provided to that employee by the company. Any cost will be offset by the great likelihood of that company expanding when implementing the innovation. With such a measure, the government would be encouraging creativity in the business sector and help in facilitating job creation. One issue on which there has been a good deal of correspondence is the provision of Section 7 concerning the one-parent tax credit. I understand the move to replace this with a single-person child care credit arises out of recommendations by the Independent Commission on Taxation. Given the extraordinary positive announcement in recent days regarding the plans to extend civil marriage and to provide legal recognition of Irish families in all their shapes and sizes, I think Section 7 appears somewhat out of step. I appreciate that this measure is intended to inject equality into the tax treatment of both cohabiting and non-cohabiting parents. However, in a genuine attempt to prevent exploitation of the tax relief by a small number of people, I fear this measure will end up causing hardship to responsible parents, particularly fathers. While I accept the need to reduce exemption and other tax relief measures on account of the state's financial position, I think it would be more equitable to continue with a shared, albeit reduced, tax credit amongst both responsible parents. Such an amendment would be in keeping with our government's desire shaped by most people to give equal recognition and rights to all family types. Another measure which I would ask the Minister to reflect on is to consider implementing is the reform of the EE ACA tax incentive scheme. And this is vital for indigenous companies such as the Galway-based CNF Tooling to increase their overseas business and thereby expand and create new jobs. The EE ACA tax incentive is, however, dependent on an accreditation process, which is time-consuming to the extent that it causes a disincentive to customers placing orders for, in this case, new renewable energy products. The situation could easily be remedied if the Department of Finance were to introduce a new pre-accreditation certificate or letter which would outline that tax relief would become available if the product in question meets the assessment at the accreditation stage. And I believe this is allowable under the UK system, and that such a letter of confirmation regarding the tax reliefs were provided in the UK some 2 years ago. In conclusion, I was asked the Minister to give strong consideration to these 3 measures in particular that I have raised, namely the tax relief for employees receiving a monetary reward for being innovative and for registering a patent, the retention of a reduced tax credit for both persons in shared parenting situations, and the creation of the pre-accreditation certificate or letter which will confirm tax relief available to customers of Irish companies should their products achieve certain minimum standards. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy.